Marie of Tex, the true embodiment of royal dignity, encompassed all the qualities of an ideal monarch. Stern yet fair, with a keen intuition, she was a reliable ally and advisor to her husband. Between them lay not only love, but also a strong friendship, mutual understanding and respect. After her spouse's demise, Maria continued to serve the crown, albeit now in the company of her son. She was fortunate enough to witness her granddaughter ascend to the throne. Queen May spent her life as an ardent admirer and tireless collector of jewellery. She never left her chamber without a set of adornments, skillfully combining them and always exuding elegance. In her portraits, we see an abundance of pearl necklaces, diamond brooches, tiaras and rings. Yet strangely enough, the thought of the Queen overdoing her jewellery never crossed my mind. Many of the Queen's treasures came from the collection of the Russian imperial family, and in my humble opinion, these are the finest ever worn by British monarchs. For instance, the magnificent Vladimir tiara, which Maria acquired from Princess Elena Vladimirovna. This splendid headpiece, consisting of a graceful intertwining of 15 diamond circles, each suspending a massive pear-shaped pearl in the center, is yet another masterpiece from the House of Bolin. Commissioned by Grand Duke Vladimir Alexandrovich in 1874 for his bride Maria Pavlovna as a wedding gift, the tiara was named after the Grand Duke himself, Vladimir. In 1893, Princess Marie of Tex received a remarkable array of jewellery as a wedding gift from the people of the United Kingdom and the British Empire when she married the Duke of York, the future King George V. Among these treasures was the stunningly stylized Surrey tiara with a diamond fringe, a gift from the Surrey County, which bore a striking resemblance to the diamond fringe necklace presented to Queen Victoria on her wedding day. Although Queen Victoria described seeing the bride wearing her gift at the wedding ceremony, it remains uncertain whether she inadvertently conflated these two pieces. In 1901, the then Duchess of Cornwall and York donned the Surrey tiara with the diamond fringe and an 11-row pearl necklace at an official reception in Ottawa during a tour of Canada, immortalized in a series of official portraits. Several years after King George V and Queen Mary ascended the throne in 1910, the Surrey tiara with its diamond fringe was dismantled. Some of its diamonds were repurposed to create the Gloucester tiara with a honeysuckle motif, while others were used to crown the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara in place of pearls. This tiara was a wedding gift from 650 individuals led by Lady Ava Greville, known as the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland. Crafted by Garrard, the versatile diamond ornament, its frame could be removed and worn as a necklace, while the base could be worn as a bandeau, was originally adorned with pearls, which Maria later replaced. Princess Marie of Tex received several tiaras on the occasion of her marriage to Prince George, the Duke of York, in 1893, including the transformable fringe tiara necklace known as the Collingwood Fringe Tiara. This tiara was gifted to her by her husband's grandmother, Queen Victoria. However, while she undoubtedly pleased her new grandmother-in-law by wearing the tiara on her wedding day, it seems it was not among her favorites. She was photographed wearing a version of the tiara with a necklace, pairing it with pieces from the Tech turquoise suite, but there are no prominent portraits of Mary wearing this tiara-shaped ornament. In 1919, she decided to fully sacrifice Collingwood's fringe, collecting the diamonds for reuse in her new modern tiara with a fringe. Another notable fringe tiara was the Adelaide Fringe Tiara. Commissioned by King William IV in 1831 as a diamond necklace with a fringe for his wife Adelaide, it was crafted using gems that once belonged to his father, King George III. Eventually, the adornment passed to Queen Victoria, who redesigned it to be worn as a tiara. Maria preferred wearing the diadem atop her head, as evidenced by a 1913 portrait. However, 6 years later, she seemingly grew weary of the Adelaide fringe and fashioned her own tiara with a fringe. Apparently dissatisfied with Queen Adelaide's fringe tiara, a recognized crown relic, Queen Maria created her own iconic diadem with a fringe. The diamond fringe tiara dates back to 1919, using jewellery obtained by George's wife as a wedding gift from Queen Victoria. Interestingly, the tiara can be transformed into a necklace, which greatly concerned Maria's granddaughter Elizabeth when she wore her grandmother's adornment to the altar. In a picture from the Illustrated London News of 1937, the widowed queen appeared in the fringe tiara, once again showcasing her beloved design. Then came the Boucheron loop tiara. This crown was commissioned from the renowned jewellery house to mark the bestowal of titles upon the Prince and Princess of Wales in 1902. A prerequisite set by the Duchess of York was the use of diamonds gifted to her by the De Beers Diamond Mining Corporation the year before. De Beers presented the Duchess of York, upon her arrival in South Africa, with 173 diamonds weighing 261 carats, valued at $1,400. These stones were of unique shape, colour and quality. This remarkable adornment is crafted from vertical oval loops, filled and divided by additional diamond-shaped motifs, arranged to give the illusion of floating. The tiara quickly became a favourite accessory of the future queen. Maria used the tiara for a series of official portraits. However, the new crown didn't stay in Maria's jewellery box for long. In 1911, the adornment was dismantled to create the new Delhi Durbar tiara. One cannot overlook the Queen Mary crown, named in honour of the Queen herself. Crafted in 1911 by the renowned jeweller Garrard, this crown was adorned with the unique 105-carat Koh-i-Noor diamond, along with the world-famous Cullinan crystals, known for their grandiose size. 2 of these crystals were later worn as pendants, while the rest were affixed to the sash as brooches. Upon ascending the throne in 1910, George V began preparations for both his coronation at Westminster Abbey and the celebration of his new status in India. The Delhi Durbar, ceremonial assembly as a mark of respect, was conceived as a fitting celebration of his new role as king and emperor. When it was determined that the crown jewels could not be taken out of the United Kingdom, a new crown was commissioned for the king, and a new tiara was devised for his queen, Mary. Interestingly, Mary herself funded her new coronation crown, so it was not included in the crown jewels. As we know, she was not one to shy away from new treasures. Therefore, Garrard created a new tiara for her in 1911. The creation of the Delhi Durbar tiara epitomizes Queen Mary's resourcefulness, as it was crafted from remnants of another tiara and several smaller gems, a typical move by the Queen. In this case, the dismantled tiara was a large diadem with a loop, made for Mary by Boucheron after her visit to South Africa in 1901. There, she was gifted diamonds from the De Beers mine. The new Delhi Durbar tiara was adorned with platinum and gold, with diamonds forming lyres and S-shaped scrolls overlaid with diamond garlands. Initially, the tiara was adorned with 10 cabochon emerald drops on top. These were part of the famous Cambridge emerald set, once belonging to Queen Mary's grandmother and acquired by Mary after they were scandalously left to her late brother's mistress. The complete set of emeralds was used to create a stunning parure for the Delhi Durbar. On another classic occasion, Mary asked Garrard to alter the tiara to accommodate stone replacements. The Cullinan III and I-4 diamonds were used as temporary central elements. The pear-shaped Cullinan III, weighing 94.4 carats, acted as the centerpiece at the top center, while the square Cullinan Nafi, weighing 63.6 carats, could be placed at the center front. Either one or both could be worn, and there is another central element that can be used without them. Interestingly, no one has used the Cullinans in the tiara since Mary's time.
Now let's delve into the magnificent tiara known as honeysuckle. The origin of this tiara remained shrouded in mystery for many years. There was a belief that the ornament had ties to the Russian Empress Maria Feodorovna. The design of the piece remarkably resembles the Romanov tiaras in the kokoshnik style. However, the honeysuckle tiara was actually crafted for Queen Maria shortly after her husband George ascended to the British throne. This classic piece was created by E. Wolfe and Company under the commission of the court jeweller Garrard. Initially, the tiara featured a taller centerpiece, but upon the owner's directive, it was shortened to its current design. Adorned with motifs of honeysuckle, encrusted with diamonds, the tiara is embellished with several different precious stones. In the center of the tiara, one could find the Cullinan V diamond, a sapphire and diamond brooch, as well as an alternating pink kunzite and diamond brooch. It's worth noting that kunzite was discovered 10 years prior to the creation of the Gloucester honeysuckle tiara and was an exclusive gem in the jewelry trade of that time. The tiara also incorporated repurposed royal diamonds sourced from the Surrey County tiara, which was dismantled. Queen Maria was captured wearing the tiara in 2 variations. with the Cullinan V diamond in 1914 and with the sapphire brooch in the 1920s. Yet something about the tiara still troubled Queen Maria. Not out of ill will, she graciously gifted a new splendid diadem to her daughter-in-law, Lady Alice Montague Douglas Scott, the wife of Prince Henry, Duke of Gloucester. However, the dear mother-in-law's gift bore a more modest appearance compared to the original. Instead of exquisite, interchangeable elements, the centerpiece of the tiara was adorned with a diamond honeysuckle, harmonizing with the wreath motifs. Neither the Cullinan V diamond, nor the sapphire, nor the kunzite were part of the wedding gift. The heart-shaped diamond from the depths of South Africa was inherited by Queen Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon. The sapphire brooch was gifted to Princess Margaret, and the pink kunzite was united with the tiara after Maria's death in 1953. Upon the suggestion of Alice, Duchess of Gloucester, the sapphire brooch was replaced with an emerald cabochon adornment. The Duchess of Gloucester first adorned herself with the gift from Queen Maria shortly after her wedding at the coronation of King George VI in 1937. This very jewel complemented Alice's attire in several official portraits and numerous social events. The honeysuckle tiara became an indispensable companion to the Duchess during her husband's tenure as the Governor-General of Australia from 1945 to 1947. Eventually, Princess Alice gifted the tiara to her daughter-in-law, Birgitta, the current Duchess of Gloucester, who has been using the adornment in all its forms for several decades. The most luxurious tiara in my view is known as the Countess of Love. In 1913, Queen Maria of Teck commissioned the jewellery company Garrard & Company to create a new tiara based on the design of the Cambridge Lover's Knot tiara. The original tiara belonged to her maternal grandmother, Princess Augusta of Hesse-Kassel, Duchess of Cambridge, and later passed to her aunt, Princess Augusta of Cambridge, Grand Duchess of Mecklenburg-Strelitz. This tiara, let's refer to it as the original, was created in 1818. Princess Augusta of Hesse-Kassel's parents gifted it to her in honor of her marriage to Prince Adolphus Frederick, Duke of Cambridge, the seventh son of King George III. Augusta and Adolphus Frederick had 3 children, an eldest son, George, and 2 daughters, Augusta and Maria. The Cambridge tiara then passed through inheritance to the eldest daughter, Augusta, later the Grand Duchess of Mecklenburg-Strelitz. The current ownership of the original tiara is unknown. In 1838, during the coronation of Queen Victoria at Westminster Abbey, the Duchess of Cambridge wore this tiara, Cambridge Lover's Knot. It features 19 diamond arches, within which dangle 19 pearls and 19 diamond spikes at the top of the tiara. Initially, pearls were meant to sit atop the tiara, as was the case with the original, but Queen Maria ultimately removed the top pearls. She passed away in 1953, and the tiara was inherited by her eldest granddaughter, Elizabeth II, who ascended to the throne in 1952. In 1981, the Cambridge tiara was gifted by Elizabeth II to Diana, Princess of Wales, as a wedding gift. After her divorce from the Prince of Wales, the tiara was returned to the Queen. This tiara was one of Diana's most beloved jewels. Nowadays, Catherine wears this tiara. Now our next heroine is the little-known tiara called the diamond lozenge. Maria of Teck debuted it in 1935 at the premiere of the film Ghost Goes West at Leicester Square. The tiara, shaped like a kokoschnik, was adorned with a diamond lozenge pattern and crowned with 13 pearl spikes. However, by 1946, Queen Maria had removed the pearls. Among admirers of royal jewellery, there's a theory that the pearls Queen Maria used atop the diamond bandeau are identical to the pearls on the Lover's Knot tiara. This speculation holds weight as the number of pearls matches, and the pearl attachments in both cases are detachable. Queen Maria valued jewellery for their ability to undergo subtle transformations. A decade later, the Queen of Britain lent the tiara without pearls to her granddaughter, Princess Margaret. The princess, who had just turned 18, was headed to the Netherlands for the inauguration of Queen Juliana in September 1948. It was Margaret's first official event representing her father, King George VI, and Queen Elizabeth. According to tradition, monarchs do not attend each other's inaugurations, delegating these duties to their heirs. As Princess Elizabeth was pregnant with Prince Charles, the honour of representing Britain fell to Princess Margaret. The diamond lozenge tiara was used by Margaret several times. In 1950, during the state visit of Queen Juliana and Prince Bernhard to Britain. In 1965, at one of the state receptions, Queen Maria's diamond bandeau adorned Princess Margaret for the last time. For over half a century, the tiara has not been presented to the public. It is genuinely unknown whether this diadem still exists, whether it belongs to the royal jewel vault, or if Princess Margaret sold it at an auction. The possibility of Princess Margaret secretly selling the diamond lozenge tiara, strange as it may seem at first glance, cannot be ruled out. The rebellious princess was notorious for her scandalous behavior, frequenting London's entertainment clubs. Numerous affairs and parties could have led to debts that needed discreet handling, requiring finances. So, the younger sister of Queen Elizabeth II, as she called herself the embodiment of evil and corruption, the Queen of the Night, might have engaged in a clandestine deal. What do you think happened to the tiara? But one of the most mysterious tiaras in 1925 was when Maria of Teck added to her collection the diamond bandeau from the masters at Garrard. It was a sizable adornment with an intricate pattern that, in my opinion, looked splendid in an elaborate hairstyle. Princess Alexandra wore it in such a manner, a magnificent example of youth combined with the delicate sparkle of transparent stones. However, the Queen did not leave the adornment untouched and instructed jewelers to add fittings for drop-shaped Cambridge emeralds. The green crystals undoubtedly added luxury to the tiara, but failed to make it more appealing to Maria. She wore the tiara only a few times and eventually forgot about its existence altogether. According to the will, the tiara passed on to the Queen's daughter-in-law, the Duchess of Kent. Princess Marina did not appreciate the preciousness and never wore it once. This injustice was rectified by Princess Alexandra, who looked stunning in diamond curls and an airy design. Princess Marina gifted the tiara to her niece on her wedding day. Catherine Worsley often wore it in the early years of her marriage, paired with massive earrings. Over time, the treasure disappeared, and members of the royal family stopped wearing it altogether. One might think it would fade into obscurity again, but the dukes did not have many impressive diadems to overlook such treasures. However, the Duchess of Kent acquired another tiara with similar elements. The resemblance is striking. The lower band consists of identical round and lozenge-shaped stones. Spikes and exquisite pearls were added to the former bandeau, enhancing its appearance significantly. Since then, the Duchess of Kent has regularly appeared in this tiara at social events. It's practically her only adornment that can be worn with diamond earrings and a pearl necklace, which she adores. I'd note that a jewel with transparent crystals and snow-white pearls is suitable for any occasion, which is perhaps why it became the Duchess's favourite. In 1992, Lady Helen Windsor, the only heir to Prince Edward and his wife Catherine, got married. The main ornament of her wedding attire was that very pearl tiara with a long history. The bride looked magnificent in a lavish veil, a snow-white dress and sea pearls, a more than successful ensemble. In recent years, the Duchess rarely socializes and hardly fulfills any duties as a member of the royal family. Her tiara hasn't been seen in society for a long time, but it surely awaits its next appearance in a snug box. I hope its next owner will indulge us more often with the brilliance of diamonds, as such treasures shouldn't languish idle.